Welcome to the Wrestlecast. This is episode number 17 on August 21st, 2022. I'm Rocky, joined by Wesley. We're your podcast host this evening. Rodney's out. He's on the road, traveling. Yeah. So, we've got a little bit maybe to talk about WWE. But I mean, hey, let's face it. We're here to talk about AEW Dynamite House of the Dragon, as presented by Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we can blast through.
Go ahead, Wesley.
We can blast through Raw this week. Because I'm gonna give you the cliff notes because I fell asleep midway. Well, not midway. 90% with the show being 90% done. Raw opens up with your typical hype package. Judgment Day starts the show off, of course, because we can't seem to get rid of this stupid stable. Basically, cutting a promo, running down the Mysterios because that feud's still going. Good old Dominic is still, having his good time with Rhea Ripley, I guess. But they're cutting their big long promo. Nothing really that I care to remember. But somewhere midway through that, Ray pops in, I guess through the crowd or something with a chair, and he starts beating up the Judgment Day. And they end up getting the upper hand, of course, with no other female anywhere in this feud. Rhea jumps in front of a chair shot that Ray's going to give to, I think, Finn, and so of course he doesn't do anything because she's a woman. And so they proceed to beat down Rey Mysterio. They put the chair on him, and he gets the coup de grace with the chair on his midsection, and that pretty much ends the segment. I really don't care. Like, I don't know I don't know where this is going at this point.
Well, how many times are they going to use that as a fucking plot device? Rhea just, yeah,
right. It's this crutch that I can't stand, and we were talking about that, I think, from the very beginning when she joined. Like, I was hoping, like, please, like, this can't be what she gets reduced to. It's just, like you said, that plot device of, oh, well, you can't hit me because I'm a woman. And that's how you get your heel heat.
Has she had any matches recently?
Oh, it just...
What?
No, not with anybody ever since the AJ Styles, Liv Morgan, Finn Balor deal before Finn turned heel. No, I don't think she's had a match
she's
since.
Literally there.
She just
fucking plot device.
She's there as a plot device, and she's there as like the muscle, like literally China when she first debuted.
Wow.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, she clearly manhandles poor Dom all over the place, but
right.
She hasn't done anything.
She's got no feuds going on with any women and anywhere, nowhere near the title or whatever. Just
no, none whatsoever. And like, Edge is still kind of floating around in this, but he hasn't really done anything other than cut a couple of promos. And I know for a while they've been talking about doing a feud between Ray and Dom. And so I don't know if this is a way to eventually turn Dominic heel or, what they plan to do. But currently this feud is like not doing it. I don't see the end game. But yeah, so
another good way to waste talent.
Done with that. Pretty much. And it's just another way to, continue to let Finn just kind of flop around. But I guess he doesn't care.
Right.
He's getting paid. He's happy. I'm good with it. If he's good with it. It's just a shame. But other than that, next thing on the card, you had the You had a first round match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. You got Alexa Bliss and Asuka, accompanied by Bianca Belair versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop, who is still going by Doudrop. And I don't know. I think who Asuka and Alexa pick up the win. The match was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. After the match, they had a stare down between Bianca, Bliss, and Asuka against Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bailey.
Io Sky.
But no count. Yes, Io Sky, not Io Shirai. And for some reason, in all caps.
Like just the last name in all caps, or her entire name?
No, first.
Okay.
No, in its entirety.
Okay.
In its entirety. But so they advance. So I think next week they go against Bliss and Asuka go against Io Sky and Dakota Kai. To see who goes to the finals. And then on the other side, you got for SmackDown, I think this week was supposed to be Zoe Starks and Nikita Lyons against Natalya and Sonya Deville. But unfortunately for Zoe and Nikita, Zoe got hurt, Nikita got pulled, and they got replaced with Gigi and JC Jane from Toxic Attraction to make up for it, which I think they won. So next week on SmackDown, it's supposed to be Toxic Attraction against Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah. Still no word on how the potential return of Naomi and Sasha Banks will factor into all of this. But apparently, rumor has it that they're pretty much a go to come back. That they were talking to coming back to back over to the E.
They're gonna get the Shane O'Mac entrance into the tournament. It's like, y'all are injured? Oh, we'll take over from here.
We got this. It's like mid-match takeover.
He can't continue. I can. It was so dumb.
What match was that?
That was.
Oh man.
Was it? Jesus, how the fuck do I remember this? I have a terrible memory, but I believe it was a Saudi Arabia show, and it was the finals to the Best in the World tournament. And I think it was Miz versus what's your boy, Ziggler?
Okay, maybe so.
I think that's what it was. And
I think you're right.
The image of sweaty ass Shane holding up the trophy at the end. Like, dude, you just inserted yourself into the finals of the tournament. You didn't. What the fuck?
And that's why he's no longer with the company.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember. I was like, is that the same one that ended with, or that had with the Triple H, Shawn Michaels versus fucking Undertaker and Kane, and Kane's wig fell off?
That might have been. It was. I think so, because I don't think it was the one with. I don't think it was Undertaker Goldberg.
Yeah, it had to be like that first one, I think, because that was the only one that I watched. I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
well, Brothers of Destruction and DX was bad.
Yeah, that was.
One day I'll go back and watch the train wreck just because.
Yeah. And then
it's
fucking
cautionary tale.
Michael's hat falls off, like, see his bald ass head, like, no, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. You need to grow some hair, man. Figure it out, dude.
Past your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after the tag match, you get a backstage promo with Theory holding his money in the briefcase, talking about how awesome he is, his usual heel shtick.
Yeah.
Ziggler comes in and kind of has words and Theory just basically tells him he's a has-been and he's gonna cash in his money in the bank and be successful, unlike him, and not be a failure like Ziggler. I was like, damn,
Dude,
it's
you
fucked
know
up.
what? Again, I didn't watch this, but I know that this happened. That he said this. When he was in NXT doing a little brief feud with somebody, he cut a promo saying that he lost like 99% of the matches that he was in, but I don't know, and then continue on to say some shit.
But they were always bangers.
Like, dude, still, like, you lose 99% of the matches, like that's not good. It's not something that you don't want to remind people about that.
No, and uh, Ziggler's another one that I think he knows what his role in the company is,
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna say, I don't want to say the word content, because none of the you're never in the business to be content to just be mid card, low card, but
right.
he's always been one that, like, whatever they asked him to do, he does it, and he makes it work. And it's crazy to think that he was a world champion at one point, because he never sniffed it after he won it that one time. But to say he was a has-been's it's kind of crazy. Like, the guy went from the shittiest gimmick available with the Spirit Squad to being the only one out of that group that's still with the company.
Right.
However many years it's been.
Right.
And again, whatever you need him to do, he does. And I gotta respect him for that.
Yeah.
I hope at some point he gets a chance again, or he gets to hold a title. I don't think he'll ever be world champ again, but at least he's there, kind of putting over the newer generation. I don't know if that's what they're just going to expect him to do for the rest of his career, but good. You get a tag team match next up: Ciampa and The Miz versus Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. I'll give you one guess on how this ended.
Ciampa winning, I assume. I assume. I don't have to assume. I saw the video that you sent earlier in the week.
Well, it definitely wasn't going to be Mustafa Ali winning anything.
No. But hell, from the clip that you did send, hell, Ciampa looks like, I don't know, looks like he's strong, being built strong.
Of course, he's like, he's one of Triple H's biggest, like, babies.
Right.
That's his guy.
Right.
So, yeah, I could see them booking him strong. Even in this case, he won, but was it last week when he lost to AJ? Even in defeat, he looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
I just really hope that at some point they just get him away from The Miz.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a role that he needs to be put in.
No, he's going to beat the shit out of Miz, and then Miz is going to be a babyface in their feud.
You could. And this is week number 4 with blood on the show. Although this one was inadvertent. I think Miz broke his nose, or at least had a bloodied nose by the end of all this.
Nice.
I think he took a bad drop kick or something. But yeah. So, yay! Color.
He softened the landing
4
with
weeks
his
in
face.
a row. Whatever works. Now the greatest segment of all time is next. You get an update on Ezekiel.
Oh, Jesus. I saw this clip that you sent too, yeah. Oh, God.
Surrounded by his loving family in the hospital. Oh, man.
They all,
I saw that and
like, even the mother, they all weirdly look like Elias. Huh?
It's weird, right? The genes are strong.
Very strong. Maybe like the genes have been
Ernie
swimming
Jr.
in the same pool for a generation or two longer than they needed to be.
Yeah, well, even the baby looked like he was probably about 35. But yeah, Ernie Jr., Ezekiel's dad, said that he would give Kevin Owens a piece of his mind if he ever gets his hands on him. I don't exactly know what that means, but there's that. And Elrod looks like he's killed a couple people and he's got some bodies buried in his backyard. So I'd really watch that. I think he's supposed to come out and address KO next week.
Oh, nice.
I think he's supposed to confront him. Yeah, so Elrod will finally make his debut.
See, I thought they were killing this whole story. I thought they were just done with them.
I truly did. I truly thought they were. I really did.
I guess they're.
But no, they're not. They didn't just not kill it. They doubled down on this bitch. I just want like every week to just have a new family member come out every week.
I mean, look. I mean,
get murdered by KO.
We got to have a spot in the Royal Rumble where you have Elias and then Ezekiel and then Elrod come through. Got to have that spot at this point.
They can do it. They have the technology. They can do
Ernie
it.
Jr., Ernest Jr., whatever his name was. Drag his ass up there.
But yeah, now at this point in the feud, I want every week for a new family member to come out and just promptly get murdered by KO. That's what I want. Until they run out of family members. So, but I'm glad that they've doubled down on this. For whatever reason, I still think this is the greatest thing going. I don't know. It's so dumb.
It's sports entertainment, man.
And yet so entertaining. But yeah, so they go to commercial and they come back, and Drew McIntyre comes out and basically starts cutting a promo about the Clash at the Castle and his match with Roman Reigns. And then out comes KO because he was slightly perturbed that McIntyre didn't mention his name as opponents that he would like to face if he takes the belts from Roman. And they go into a back and forth, really, really heated promo that definitely didn't feel like it was scripted. About how KO basically for the last 10 years, I think he said he hasn't held a belt in 4 years was the last time he held any kind of championship.
Shame.
Which is freaking nuts to me. I didn't realize that. But yeah, so he's going back to his prize fighter gimmick. Like he's full blown heel again. Like he's back to business supposedly. So 5 years. That's what it is. Now that I'm reading it, 5 years. And then he gives the Owen Hart quote, "Enough is enough, and it's time for a change." Which I don't know how many people caught that, but I did. Back when Owen Hart was the Nugget.
Oh, nice. Nugget.
Yeah, the Nugget. When he was teaming with Jeff Jarrett back in the day.
I think so. Jesus.
Yeah. It's all coming back to me. But anyway, so they and then Drew, well, I think I sent it in the chat, but Drew goes off on a giant rant about being the chosen one 15 years ago, and he got fired, and then he had to leave and create his own path before he came back, and he wasn't the one that called them, they called him.
So yeah, and, you said that, and immediately, now granted, I'm not saying it's on this level, but it immediately made me think of Cody's what was it, undesirable to ungoddamn deniable, like that promo. Yeah. It reminded me of that.
It's essentially the same story. I mean, it really is. The only difference is Drew's case was very under the radar.
Right.
Like if you didn't know that he had left and went to Impact all those years while he was gone, like you'd have no idea. At least Cody left and like immediately basically started a promotion.
Right.
Almost immediately.
One of
But
these days, he's going
same
to come
path.
back with a theme song that is basically written about his life.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, he kept throwing around. He's like, he kept throwing around the wrestling ring, wrestling, like whatever, just throwing that W word around like it's nobody's business.
Somewhere fucking Vince
Like going,
McMahon is just flipping the hell out.
just
Just
losing his
losing his
mind.
shit.
And that's good for him.
Like fucking screaming at the TV
so they
like he's still in a headset with Michael Cole.
Really. But yeah, so they end up having a wrestling match that ends up going for a pretty long time. Like this was like, to me, a pay-per-view caliber
Nice
match. Really freaking good. I would recommend watching it if you get the
Those
chance.
are two guys that I would like to see.
It's one of those things.
Wrestle.
Yeah, I mean it was everything that you would have thought it would have been. I don't know what else to say other than like I would definitely watch it if you get the chance.
Sweet.
Go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch the highlights.
Hey, I can do that.
Drew ends up winning. Drew wins by disqualification when the Usos show up, and eats a super kick because that's all the Usos know how to do. And Owens basically just tells him like, "Hey, you owe me one for leaving Drew off to the Wolves." But of course, McIntyre makes his comeback though and clears the ring, and then the segment's pretty much over. You get a Seth Rollins promo, which I'm not down with Seth freaking Rollins right now.
Yeah.
It's not a gimmick I like currently. He's still feuding with Riddle because Riddle has nothing else better to do, I guess. Neither one of them have anything else better to do.
I don't know. He seems like the least interesting guy from a 3-man team that existed at one time. But now that they've all gone their separate ways, he seems like the least interesting guy.
Well, I mean, I guess because he got his time to shine. He was the first one that got his time.
Yeah.
Like, he was the one that they built up as, like, the guy, while the Roman experiment was failing miserably.
I don't know, man.
And then Dean was just, Mox was just kind of doing his thing.
I liked his run. I think when I started watching it, he was maybe Intercontinental Champion. I don't remember. But it was 2018, and I remember liking him then. And then it wasn't until they started doing that shit with him and Becky. Like, they acknowledged their relationship on TV.
Where they acknowledged that they were together.
Oh, man, this is the cringiest shit. And it's like it's weird. It's like they didn't have any chemistry on camera despite being an actual, like, fucking real-life couple.
An actual couple.
Like, it's really weird. And I think they've, like, said, like, we don't want to do anything like that anymore or ever again. It's just, that was, I was like, oh, I don't like this. I didn't like him as champion. Weird. As, like, the big champion. I didn't like him as that. But, like, I enjoyed his mid-card title run that I came into.
He had an okay run as like the WWE champ. It was just, for me, it was kind of watered down because this was when Stephanie and Triple H were back on screen as like the new McMahon, Mr. McMahon, like they were the
authority.
I don't know. They were like the that's it. Thank you, the authority. And it was just a bad run. I don't know. It just, between that and the corporate Kane thing, and it was just, oh god, it was so bad. I don't want to go back to that time.
Well, fucking what? Okay. Well, here's a question: was that time worse than his time feuding with the Fiend?
No.
That's where it just completely lost it for me.
Well, I know that's where they lost
Yeah,
you.
that like the fuck
With
like
the
I
Fiend.
dropped WWE after that. I was like, and I didn't have a problem with the Fiend itself because I enjoyed the little promos with it. What was it? His little fucking shit with the puppets. Like that shit was interesting. I think that was like
Oh yeah, the
I think that was
Fireflies.
like the most interesting thing happening at the time. But then, like, why the fuck does the Fiend have any need to go after a championship to begin with? Like, why does that character need that? And then for them to fucking
He did.
stop a Hell in a Cell match, which is supposed to be brutal in its own right, but it got too brutal and had to be stopped. Like, what the? Like, what? No. No. It was dumb.
Yeah, it was poor booking on their part for sure. And you're not the only one. I mean, there were lots of people that were like fucking outraged
Yeah.
by it.
No, I definitely know that. And it's like, I don't know. That was, I was like, I'm done with this.
But wasn't that the same Hell in the Cell that had like that stupid red
Yes,
mood
the
lighting?
entire match.
Like the whole
The
fucking match?
entire match.
Yeah, okay. Can you imagine being in the fucking audience watching that shit? Like it's already hard enough to see what's going on through the
Like
cell.
I think the cage, like the cell was red too, because I don't know.
Oh, you know what? It
It,
might have been. It might have been. I think you're right.
it was
I
like
think it was.
it was dumb. It's just dumb all around.
But you're right. Like the Fiend didn't need a belt. He would have never needed a championship. What he needed, if Taker would have been ready, he needed that win against
Yeah,
Taker at WrestleMania. That's what he needed. It was like, oh man, that was rough because Taker, what he lost, he lost the streak to Brock, and then I don't remember if he competed at the following WrestleMania. He may have, and then he had the match against the Fiend or Bray, and he won that match like decisively. I was like, okay, well, there's another way to knock Bray or the Fiend like down a peg. It was like every time they built him up, he would come out on the losing end of any big
right.
feud. And I get it, he's the heel, but I mean, damn, he's supposed to be this big supernatural character, and he can't win the
Right.
big one, like ever.
Like, dude, honestly,
So I don't know.
honestly, think about that WrestleMania during that first WrestleMania during the pandemic with
Mhm.
the two cinematic matches that they had, the Fiend, John Cena, and then AJ
Dude,
Styles and the Undertaker.
that the Fiend and the
Yeah,
Firefly Funhouse match or whatever, that cinematic match, that was probably one of the best things he'd
yeah, that
ever
was
done.
cool. But imagine a cinematic
That was
match,
like one of the,
like because they hit both of those. Like both of them were pretty good. I mean, and like that was, I actually sought that out and watched it, and it was like,
right.
and that was like one of the first. It was like I remember watching it, thinking like the actual matches that they had in the building were really weird because there was no one there. The stands were empty. And then they do the cinematic matches, which they kind of nailed. And
They
and
did.
like I don't know, it's crazy. It's like think about it, like with how they nailed those two matches. Imagine if the match that was put together was actually the Fiend versus the Undertaker in a cinematic match, some kind of way.
Oh, it would have been. You could have gone crazy with it, and nobody would have thought differently.
Fucking just starts off in Firefly Funhouse or the Graveyard and goes into the other one or some shit like that. Like, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that was a weird time,
And even then, like that would have been. I think that now that you're talking about it, we're fantasy booking or rewriting history. I feel like at that point in time, you probably could have had that done, and that could have been the Undertaker's last
right,
match, and that would have made Bray / the Fiend look fucking
right,
incredible.
yeah.
But
I mean, because didn't again,
mm,
this was during a time that I didn't watch it, but wasn't like John Cena famous for like burying people, like
yes,
behind the scenes and like just like fucking in promos, just burying
yes,
them and like Bray,
yes,
like that was the whole point of that Firefly Funhouse match, wasn't it? Like calling John Cena out on
pretty
that.
much, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, dude, he ruined quite a few careers. He killed Wade Barrett's career, that's for
Yeah,
fucking sure, and that's a
I
goddamn
mean I've
shame.
heard that about him.
But yeah, he politicked a
Yeah,
lot, evidently.
and I don't know. Yeah, they nailed it during that time when fucking wrestling was really weird, and they have a reputation. Once like WWE's backed up in the corner, backed up into a wall, like they somehow pull some stuff out of their ass. And just imagine if we would have gotten a cinematic match versus Fiend versus The Undertaker. That would have been epic as hell.
But I think that's what's so frustrating about. I mean, I don't not so much now. Like I feel like right now they are kind of in a weird
Yeah,
transition period, and they're doing a lot of things differently than what they were doing, 3-4 weeks ago. But I think that's always been the really frustrating part about WWE in the last, you know 10 years, 20 years, whatever it's been, is that they can be so much more creative than what they're
right,
being or what they've been. And it seems like it only takes when they're, like you said, when their backs against the wall, or something's not going right, for them to flip the switch on, and all of a sudden, like, come up with these amazing ideas that they have the ability to pull off because they've got the talent or they've got the
right.
budget.
Well, and,
um it's always been that
another
way.
prime example of that is when everybody got stuck in Saudi Arabia. They had to call an audible, and they ended up throwing was it like, I don't know if NXT invaded, but then they had Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, Jesus Christ, like on that SmackDown because everybody they were having those infamous, issues with flights and stuff.
Right.
They pulled it out of their ass and ended up pulling
But I
like
mean,
a real good episode of SmackDown. And you get a match like Adam
yeah,
Cole versus
without your usual
Daniel
stars.
Bryan. It's nuts.
I know. Hopefully this is kind of be a turnaround now. I'm hoping it kind of keeps the momentum that it's got going, because I'm not going to say I'm invested, but I'm definitely a little bit more intrigued with the programming. So I'm definitely tuning in and paying a little bit more attention to what has been
Yeah,
different, which is something that I haven't done in a while, as opposed to just kind of watching it and
right.
tuning out and just enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah, and like
Um,
I'm getting there. It's and I'm I'm gonna try to watch Raw this week just so I can have something to talk about, next week or whatever. But like the
yeah,
idea of watching, dude, I struggle watching Dynamite. Just 2 hours of programming. Then there's five, like 5 hours of programming on WWE. Like, and that's not even including NXT 2.0.
not including
Yeah.
NXT. Yeah, not including
So
NXT.
it's like, dude, and 3 hours. Oh man, 3 hours is a long ass time to commit.
It gets rough. That's why, like, I'm gonna breeze through the rest of this and just kind of give results, because I didn't watch the rest of the fucking show. Um, you had AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship, which you know has prestige again all of a
Right.
sudden. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. I'm sure Lashley won. Yeah, what Lashley wins. Um, Lashley wins that. Then you get a non-title match. The fuck? You get a non-title match. Just WWE 24/7 champion Dana Brooke against Dakota Kai. So you just decide that the 24/7 championship doesn't get defended 24/7?
Who won? That's my question. Who won? Was it just like, look, we're going to pause this? That's what I was going to say. It's like, we're just going to pause this 24/7 title thing just so Dana Brooke can lose. God.
Just so Dana Brooke can fucking get squashed. Yes.
So dumb.
Okay, see, they're still capable of making stupid decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I get, like, I'm willing to give him 6 months because there's a whole lot of baggage that he's coming into. Like, I can give him that
for sure.
much. You know, I'm curious what the show, what their shows look like in 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Dude, as soon as you said that, I was like, that's just so she can lose. That's just because when I saw...
That's exactly what that was.
When I started watching again and saw Dana Brooke, she was just a jobber. She was like, she still is a jobber, clearly. She
still is. She's just a glorified
jobber. She's got the jobber belt now.
She's a jobber that every now and again gets put in an actual storyline.
Right. Or not even, or just like has people chasing her through a damn segment. Like,
depends on the week.
Jesus. You remember how much we were entertained by this fucking 24/7 title when
I was entertained by this 24/7 title when R-Truth held the title, and he needs
when
that
it was
belt
him
back.
And Drake Maverick going back and forth. I was like, oh man, Drake Maverick, he's not gonna consummate his marriage until he gets this belt back. Like, so stupid. But it was fun. It was entertaining. But now they just, oh God. Honestly, I can't believe this thing's still around.
I'm surprised it still is too.
Is it still that ugly ass belt?
But it is. Yeah, it's still that ugly ass green belt. Green and gold. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so yes, Dakota Kai did win. It was a squash. Evidently the main event was Dolph Ziggler versus Theory. Just fucking crazy. Again, didn't see it. Theory ends up winning. So, unsurprisingly. But yeah, so that was pretty much the end of Raw this week.
He needs to.
It wasn't terrible.
Needs to be like his brother and diversify. Expand where your professional whatever.
Expand your horizons.
Yeah. I mean, look, Ryan Nemeth is also the Hollywood hunk. You know,
this is true.
He's a writer, a Hollywood writer. I think he's actually written. I don't know. He's written some stuff. So.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Well, damn.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me see.
All right.
Let me see something.
I learned me something today. What you got?
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a. I remember that show. Is it Heels or something like that? I think that it's
yeah.
I thought that he wrote that show. Maybe not. I think it was a little short that called Heel that he wrote. But okay. Yeah, but yeah, like he's
either way he's in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's doing his thing in Hollywood, and also BTE. Cool. He's got shit going on there too.
Wow.
But the man's getting work. Relevant. Hey, one thing I'll say is respect is like he thinks WWE. Well, again, I don't know what his thoughts are now, but at the time, like a couple of years ago, when when I first saw him in AEW, he was like, yeah, WWE is a shit company. I'm not going to ever go work there. And then he had a promotion or some shit like that, or was running a show or some shit like that. And said, yeah, I'm never going to do business with Joey Ryan. After all that shit came about with Joey Ryan, I was like, hey, yeah, he's a
respect.
Yeah, I got respect for the man.
Respect.
If somehow a workhorseman, or no, what was it? Was he a workhorseman? I can't. The wingman. If a wingman match comes on in front of my eyes and it's there on the screen, I'll sit there and watch it. I'll watch a match with him, Cesar Bononi, and Peter Avalon.
Peter Avalon. Jesus. That's a name I ain't heard in a while.
You definitely will not see him on TV. I've only seen him on BTE. I'm sure he's doing dark matches and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But hey, dudes are getting work, so
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care how you get it.
Yeah.
So, on to Dynamite, I guess.
Hey.
That's really the only other thing we got this week.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing. And so this show starts off with CM Punk coming out. This is his first time being back, right? No. He came.
No, he came back last week.
That's right. At the end of the brawl, yeah. Him and Moxley had a face to face. Yeah, and dude, I was legit pissed off at this promo that he cut. Legit pissed off. I was like, no.
But it was so good.
It was good. It was not accurate at all, but it was good. Jon Moxley cannot be the AEW.
Tell me when he's telling lies.
Look, you cannot be a champion in your stable and be the third guy. I'm sorry. Look, I know Yuta's the pure champion. At this point, I'm not recognizing ROH in this moment. That doesn't matter. He's a pure champion. It is what it is.
But you can't sit there and tell me. But you can't sit there and tell me that Mox is a better performer. I'm not even gonna go with wrestler. I'm gonna say performer than Claudio and Bryan Danielson. You just can't. You can't.
He's got heart, man. He's got heart.
You can't.
I'm not saying. Look,
and I'm a huge Mox fan, and I understand that they are very different styles, all three.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go with what this is, he would be the third. He just would be.
You and I about to start feuding.
Tell me when he's telling lies.
Fuck CM Punk, cum magnet Punk.
Tell me when he's telling lies.
He's all full of lies. He's full of shit. Is what he is. Especially,
I'll give you one. And only because I like his work more is the Kingston line. The Kingston line was a little iffy.
See, thinking about it now after this promo, I was like, oh, this motherfucker. He went after Kingston. He went after Moxley. He went after Adam Page, which Adam Page, whatever. Adam Page lost his shit during that feud. But, like...
Yeah, but Adam Page just lost all his momentum during his entire freaking title.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That is what it is. But, like, also, it's all, like, part of his character. Like, his character is just naturally, it's just not always so sure of himself. And even when he tries to put himself out there to be as confident, maybe he's not as confident as he's portraying himself. At least maybe I'm reading too much into his character. Maybe not. I don't know. But at this point, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's been a heel for a while. Ever since he started going after Kingston. I was like, that's it. It's like, I'm done. It's like, I'm done with Punk. Fuck Punk. I'm against Punk. I hate him. And then all this shit with Adam Page. Man, get the hell out of here.
Here's where I feel like this is all going. This unification thing's got to have a face and it's got to have a heel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can have a match with two faces. And it's going to be way easier to get the crowd to boo for Punk.
Yeah.
Than it'll be for them to boo Mox.
I mean, we've seen this before, though, right? We've seen this before with Danielson. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, he goes up against we've seen this. He goes up against the babyface and all of a sudden he's working heel. And he can do that
Correct.
because he's Bryan Danielson. And CM Punk is the same way. Real talk. Like,
Right.
I mean, Punk is just fucking amazing at his job. And
absolutely, he's been fire on the mic since I remember. And I didn't catch any of the stuff early on in his career when he was ROH. Like, I'm talking about WWE run early on, when they finally actually like started to push him and allowed him to, show off his personality and get on the mic. Like, he knows what to do and he knows what to say. And I just find it hilarious that everyone's in a freaking tizzy about this whole thing. Like,
another thing I have a problem with, this thing he said about his broken bones. Bro, I know you broke your bone on that fucking stage dive, so don't even give me that shit. Dude.
Hey, he said self-inflicted.
That doesn't fucking count. Hey, every time Mox bleeds, that might be self-inflicted. Hey, but look, he's not fucking, in the context of a match.
He called himself.
Sports, people would get bloody. You're not going to get bloody in a non-fight. In a real life fight, you're not going to not get bloody.
Punk called himself out on the way his foot was broken. So
yes, but again, it was not.
Tell me when he's telling lies.
The only thing it had to do with wrestling is that he was walking to the ring. That was it. That was it. That was not wrestling associated.
I don't disagree.
Oh, God,
I don't disagree.
God, that
but
pissed me off so much.
He acknowledged it, and he basically called himself stupid for it. So I'm done with it.
In all actuality, I really think that that happened. He broke his foot, knew he was going to be out for a while, and then all this shit with MJF happened, and they saw how how the dirt sheets were getting worked, and said,
"Big time,
we're going to fucking do it again." Because I'm
telling you, this is the solution. This is the solution to the kayfabe issue.
Or he was working heel back when he cut that promo and was telling Mox while Mox was in
rehab.
Yeah, while he was in rehab, talking about, "Oh, my friend Mox, I hope you get well, buddy." Da, 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 da. Unless he was working heel then and exploiting the audience for fucking cheers.
Could have been.
What a piece of shit.
Could have been.
What a piece of shit.
He's got a job to do.
Fucking, I don't know. I think in a lot of ways, wrestling, as far as what I'm watching, has never been more exciting.
They're blurring the line a lot, which is cool because it's the only way. It's the only way to keep people guessing.
Yeah.
In the social media age.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that pissed me off, but and then we got a bunch of badly thrown punches and
that brawl was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah. But I'm really happy that we're actually going to get this match this coming week.
I'm curious if that's also a red herring. Like, I'm curious if that's going to end before it ever starts.
Oh, if he no-shows. Imagine if Punk fucking no-shows.
No, I mean, I don't think that would be the case.
I don't know.
But
MJF no-showed that fan event that was advertised. And
MJF is also supposedly rumored to be returning.
Yes.
Soon.
But him no-showing that fan event fueled more speculation on top of, everything else that was going on at the time. It was right before the pay-per-view, I think. So it was like...
For MJF?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
yeah, because there was going to be a question whether or not he showed up for the Wardlow match.
That's how you keep this thing going. Fuck them kids.
No, I mean, he's probably not going to no-show because this is a big-ass match. But they'll work something, and you think about like, unless they're just going to run it back again with a gimmick, like a gimmick match, because the pay-per-view's
I don't know.
September 4th. Like,
right, but I can. It's one of those things where, like, man, like if you go through with that, what is the next step? Like, what would be your main event at that point?
to the pay-per-view.
You wouldn't have one. Yeah. What would be your pay-per-view main event at that point?
Trios final.
Yeah,
but dude,
true.
that puts so currently right now, as of August 10th. So these aren't even updated, I don't think. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the rankings. Well, as of August 10th, you know who the number one contender was?
Who?
Hangman Adam Page.
Okay. All right. So you have the unification match. You have Punk go over and
I didn't
have
realize
his belt
that.
back.
I didn't realize that. And then him calling out Page at the very beginning of his promo. Okay.
Oh, yeah. When he went off the script? When it wasn't...
Dude, when
it wasn't in the script?
He went into business for himself.
He went into business for himself? How dare he?
It kind of ruined...
Call out...
Like, even like John Mox
the
was
number
saying
2.
it, they kind of ruined, like, pipe bomb as a term. Not just, like...
Well, that's because it's overplayed.
Yeah, not just AEW, just generally.
It's overused.
Yeah.
But no, it makes sense. So you have the match this week. You unify the titles. And then at the pay-per-view, you have Page challenge Punk.
Yeah.
That would make perfect sense.
I
guess. That would make sense.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I guess, I don't know. Time is what it is. It's just, here's his top 5 contenders for the World Championship. Or top 5. Hangman Adam Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, and Jay Lethal. Which Daniel Garcia I get. Like fucking, I guess, Jay Lethal. But like, damn, you got nobody else?
Like a Powerhouse Hobbs?
Yeah, like, I don't... Again, these are probably dark matches that are occurring.
Even still.
But I could see Daniel Garcia being up there, like, just because him...
Dude's been on a fucking tear.
For sure. I mean, Chris Jericho, it is what it is.
Jericho should be living in the top 5. Like,
yeah.
He should never not be unranked.
Yeah. I was looking at the women's... I'm not even going to get into the women's stuff, but like, man, they still need to work on that division. Anyway.
If there's at least one thing that AEW seems to do well, is that there's a reason for everything that they do. Like, there's a reason for everything that's said.
Yeah.
It may not pay off right now. You know, it might not be till 6 months later, but there's always something being dropped that'll pay off in the future. And I guess fans just aren't used to that, because that's not how WWE operates. Right. Obviously, because they could start a feud one week and drop it before the fucking feud ever starts.
Yeah.
You know, or they go from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, whereas, you know, AEW has always been, you know, storylines written out for 3 years in the freaking future.
Yeah. And like, AEW tends to give you what you want from time to time. And fucking...
Even though you don't realize it's what you want?
Yeah. And WWE is like, we'll show you what you want, but then like fucking rub it in your face and shit on it. Or they would. I don't know what this new WWE is, but like the old WWE, the Vince McMahon era, that's what he would do.
But then, like, the other thing you have to take into account too with stuff like, you know, Page is going off the script, and Punk, you know, Punk's going off the script, and, you know, Punk's calling out all these guys, and he's talking mad shit about Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley and all this stuff. You have to come to terms with the fact that, like, AEW has a little bit more creative freedom because they can talk about things that happened a million years ago in other promotions
Right.
that, are just now coming back to light. And for people who have been following these guys' careers forever, get a really good payoff from stuff like that. And so you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like they're not confined to this bubble that WWE put themselves in,
Mm-hmm.
where they're limited to what they can say or what they can do or what they can mention. AEW doesn't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
they knew each other in New Japan. Yeah, they knew each other in ROH. Yeah, they fought, in
I mean, they mentioned shit
some
that happened in
promotion that
WWE.
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And, I think all that plays into all of this.
Yeah. What's funny though is like one of the things that like I feel much more like this is a work than I did with the MJF stuff. Just because, like, dude, so you left the industry, you left the industry for 7 years because you just absolutely like WWE killed your passion for it.
Right.
You come back after 7 years, and again, following kayfabe, like Adam Page says this thing, so like suppose this is all true. Adam Page drops this one little line that refers to fucking Colt Cabana. But also, in the meantime, like right before that, you have news that comes out about Nick and Matt Jackson having to talk Tony Khan into keeping Colt Cabana and not letting his contract expire. And then fucking Colt Cabana is pushed off into ROH after that's done with. You haven't seen Colt Cabana on AEW TV ever. You haven't seen him involved with the Dark Order at all since Punk came in. Not saying that those two are related, but then you have all this stuff going on. That one little line is thrown out. Punk loses his shit. Just like, oh, he's supposed like just loses his shit and is like frustrated, pissed off AEW, supposedly may not show up. You don't know what he's gonna do. I'm like, dude, you were gone for 7 years. You're this upset about some shit. Well, if I don't know, it's weird. It's like you're gonna come here like the whole AEW is what it is because of Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Kenny Omega. The people that didn't want to go to WWE said, no, we don't like this. We want to do something different. We want to change the industry or whatever they wanted to do. So we're going to partner with this guy, start this promotion that, I don't know. It's just all very funny. It's like, but then maybe Punk is really that petty. I never watched this stuff prior to AEW. Everything that I've read about him, people seem to think, yeah, he could absolutely be that petty. It's like all of a sudden,
sure,
his opinion on AEW turns just like that after he spoke so highly about it after joining AEW. And like stuff like that is what's kind of kept me from fully believing that this is a shoot situation.
It's just, I don't know. I look at it in really simple terms. You were in a place that you fucking hated.
Yeah.
That, you had lawsuits against, that, you were constantly injured on. You didn't like the way you were being treated. And your passion for what you did for a living was killed, and you were a miserable fuck.
Right.
You gave it up. You had nothing, literally nothing to do with the industry for 7 years. Finally, you make the choice, the conscious decision to come back, go to a different promotion. I can't see making that decision just to end up being a miserable fuck again. And as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell, he's not in a position to be a miserable fuck.
No.
Like, he's not. And so, to me, that's where all this is like
it's a little hard to
worked
believe.
bullshit.
Yeah,
it's all worked bullshit.
like I mean, come on, let's not. I mean, to start, like, you mean to tell me like selling out an entire building without the mention of your name, but people thinking that you're going to be there for the first dance or whatever the shit it was, like knowing you're like you're still like going to be a little pissy about that one little fucking line. Like, get real. Like, yeah, it's hard to believe, but
Here's the thing. Here's where I believe the Colt Cabana thing, and it's all from the fact that they did have a legitimate falling out.
yeah,
So I could see him coming in and Colt being pushed off to the wayside.
yeah.
It's the only thing that I can see. Everything else, nah, I wouldn't believe it for a minute. But yeah, I could see him coming in and Colt being pushed off somewhere else or being released altogether.
I can see,
before Tony Khan was talked into renewing the contract, but I can see part of the terms of Punk coming in being, hey, keep him away from me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, and like his contract expiring and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks having to kind of talk Tony Khan and keep him. My impression of that is like fucking TK is like so over the moon with CM Punk that he's just kind of like, it's, I mean, got nothing for him now, so we'll just let it expire and just he can go on about his way. Until,
right.
Others spoke up for him, like, all right, well, we can do business together. We'll just, I got this other thing, we'll put you over.
Right.
Just, and not even like as if it was a demand from Punk, just Tony fucking
not having anything else
right
for him.
Right. So, yeah.
And I mean, aside from the first year that AEW was running, Colt Cabana hasn't done anything anyway.
No. It really has. The Dark Order has fallen off.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, Colt hasn't done anything with it since he's been in the promotion anyway. And his character doesn't work in the Dynamite world, like in the AEW world.
Well,
he's
a
joke character. He always has been.
In the Dark Order after Brody Lee's death, and they became a babyface stable. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, because he's always been a comedy wrestler.
Like, we didn't get to see where it was going. I don't know where it was going, where that storyline with him and Brody Lee or whatever, the Dark Order, what they were doing. But Brody Lee passed, and then just by the nature of it, Dark Order became a babyface stable. I mean, so and then we never really got to see where that was going or where it could have been heading. But yeah, like.
But even still, so like even with that disillusion, he wasn't featured.
No.
Who'd you always get? You'd get 10. You'd get Silvers. You get Reynolds.
Yeah.
You get, you'd get every other member of the Dark Order, except for Colt. And this was before CM Punk came in.
No, I mean, you're right.
So he was just never featured. And then when he was, he'd be the one to get squashed. Like, he was never booked to look good. He was never booked to look strong.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, either way, I mean, it is what it is. I just think all of it is a work with a little. There's a little bit of shoot in there, but
that little bit of truth is what throws you off, right? Is what, because like
right.
I mean, there's all this history on CM Punk and how it was like how it was for him in WWE and how he handled it. It's just like it's kind of or how you whatever you know things about Punk and his personality. You know that's in the
Yeah,
back
but you
end.
know what? Punk is older and wiser, and it would be so easy for him to take all the things that people
Mm-hmm.
expect out of him and think that they know, and very easily incorporate it into a heel
Oh
character
yeah. Well, so
and play a character that makes you believe that he really is a piece of shit.
well, I think we said this. I said this last week. Like AEW allows there to be nuance and characters and their
A lot.
motivations, and just I mean, people have gone into a match babyface, and just by their actions throughout the match, the story being told, like end up getting fucking accosted by the fans as if they were heels. You know what I mean? It's just
And some of them stay permanently heels, and other ones just kind of get away from it and like stay. They just go right back to being faces.
yeah. Like
So
fucking Brian Danielson, man, he's just like I don't know, dude's fucking so dynamic. Anyway, yeah, well that happened, and then after that we had Tony Schiavone backstage with Powerhouse Hobbs.
yep, don't remember any of that because I don't care for Powerhouse Hobbs.
I mean, I don't know, I like him. He's all right. Anyway, he's cutting a promo and Ricky Starks just telling him how just not on maybe not on Ricky Starks, but he was just cutting a promo about Ricky Starks, telling him how he had become weak, how his job was to protect Ricky and keep him FTW champion, and that he it just became a loser and was okay with being a loser, and
Got
yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Powerhouse Hobbs not okay with
No, no, so that's why he beat the shit out of
that.
him.
And by this point, I'm sure we've gotten at least 2 House of the Dragon commercials.
Gee, yeah. Dude, I guess
I really should have wrote down how many times that fucking commercial came on.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I was just thinking just now. I was like, they didn't do shit like this on fucking Winter is Coming, but of course not, because that was just a show that they named Winter is Coming with that theme. It wasn't presented by an upcoming show. That's
correct. That wasn't. It wasn't the sponsor.
Right. Oh God. Anyway, following that, we have 2 out of 3 falls match with Brian Danielson versus the Dragon Slayer, Daniel Garcia. And this
thing was awesome.
Yeah. Fucking yeah.
Oh, lest us not forget Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was special timekeeper.
Yes. That's right.
Because there's dragon in his name.
Yep. The last match I remember him that I've seen of him, I think, was in WCW, I think, against Stunning Steve Austin. And I think he beat the shit out of Austin, chased him out of the arena, and I never saw Austin again until he showed up, pissed off, guzzling beers on ECW.
Nice. Last match I saw with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was his match against Chris Jericho in WWE. When he got the You Still Got It chance. When they had a phenomenal fucking match.
I heard about that.
Oh, dude. So good. If you track it down and watch it, you'll be like, what the fuck? This guy can still like do all the things that he did back in the day.
And I hear he's like the one true baby face in and out of wrestling, like genuinely a good dude, was babyface his entire run in the industry, and is like just never once was like
still beloved.
Yeah, like an actual family man. Like it's different now. I say that but back in the time when he was coming up, like fucking yeah, the time of Ric Flairs and shit like that. So
Ric Flair.
But
anyway,
yeah, this match was fucking awesome. Dude, Daniel,
Garcia, I think, wins the first fall.
yeah, he beat the shit out of Danielson and then submitted him until he passed out slightly for a few seconds. And then he gets that first fall, then he starts immediately beating the shit out of Danielson again, where Danielson, using his veteran experience, rolls him up and gets the second fall.
That last fall was awesome. The counter upon counter upon counter. Before he finally put Garcia in the what was it, the label lock he tapped him out to?
I think so. Because I think that he had been trying to get it on him throughout that, especially like that third, you know.
Yeah, I think that's what he eventually submitted him to.
He'd been trying to get on, and then like Garcia is like after the match is like, oh, God, he's so good.
He always has that look on his face, like
he's so good. But it's like, oh man,
very
I just
confused.
got shit beat out of me. Oh, what happened here? And
of course, that post match, you know, figured it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
The eventual face. What hopefully will be the eventual face turn.
Yeah,
because that dude is over.
Yeah, he is
big time. All thanks to Daniel Bryan.
I've said it on this podcast. Danielson. I was like, I wasn't iffy about Daniel Garcia because I liked when he was I liked him partnered with 2.0. But I was like, there was something about when he said, "I'm a sports entertainer." When the Jericho Appreciation Society first formed, I was like, okay, I'm into this because this is the most professional wrestler motherfucker that is on this show, other than like fucking Bryan Danielson.
Well, like I don't remember much about 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Like they kind of were just floating around.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they were doing anything of note until this whole JAS thing came about.
Well, dude, they were jobbers to the stars, right? Their first match, was it their first match? I don't know if it was their first match or their second match, but they had a match with they were in a match with Darby, Moxley, and Kingston. Their first or second match. Like 2.0 and Garcia, and then they had that fucking moment where fucking Matt Lee gets the shit beat out of him. He's on the floor, gets up and looks at Sting like, oh my god, it's Sting. And then because Sting beat the hell out of him after that, he kept calling him Jeff Farmer, that it was the Jeff Farmer Sting, that it wasn't the real Sting. I was like, oh my god, these guys are fucking insane, and I love it. But then like at that time, they kept going around talking about their son, Daniel Garcia. And he was like, he had very little personality that he was showing at the time. So it wasn't really much but like a submission killer, you know. But I mean, he's gotten that personality joining with the JAS as a sports entertainer.
Look, man, and this is a prime example of two guys that know that they're in the main event, but also two guys that know what their job is.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, Danielson and I'm talking about Jericho. Like, man, what better way to showcase somebody that you want to be an up and coming, star,
right?
By lumping him with two guys, on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. One that's supposed to be like, your manager mentor, and the other guy who's supposed to be like your nemesis.
Right.
Like,
man, I mean, we have
that. It's freaking awesome.
We have another one of those situations further on down the card with, Christian and Jungle Boy. I mean, like, this story is not as strong, obviously, and I feel like that's been drawn out a little bit longer than it needed to be. But I mean,
right.
All in all,
but you're right. But I mean, really, if I really start thinking about it, between Jericho and the JAS, between Regal and the Blackpool Combat Club, between, when he could, between Jake Roberts and Lance Archer, between, to a lesser extent, Sting and Darby. Like, that's where all these veterans are like at. Like, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
In very subtle ways. Then I didn't even think about it until you mentioned it, Christian and Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I hope he comes out of this. I think he's ever going to be main event and win a freaking world title? No. But I hope that, Daniel Garcia comes out of this looking like $1 million and does get some sort of championship opportunity or something.
Yeah.
Or at least once this feud is over, finds himself a way to stay relevant.
Oh, I don't know. Like the pure champion.
Right.
So, yeah.
That would work.
I mean, I could see like on next ROH show match between, I mean, it's like, I don't know, it looks like he could be going towards the Blackpool Combat Club, a match between him and Yuta. And then at the end, they shake hands and then whatever. Belt changes and they just shake hands and go about their business because they, at the end of the day, they're fucking fighters. They beat the shit out of each other. And that's what it was.
And go about their business.
I don't know. Either way, like we're sitting here, like by the fact that we're sitting here fantasy booking or whatever, like, I mean, it shows, like, at least on our end, interest in this new guy that showed up fucking out of nowhere with 2.0, like however long ago that was.
Right. You're true.
Yeah. Fun stuff to look forward to. And then, I mean, I don't know. Next, we got Tony Schiavone backstage with Private Party and Swerve in Our Glory, who is going to have a match on Rampage.
Yay. Not excited.
No. I mean, it's on Rampage, but it's automatically deemed not as important as anything that would be on Wednesday. So,
right.
And as I was just talking about what was exciting, the previous things that we discussed, this is not as exciting to me. So,
no. What is exciting, though, is the next segment.
Yes, right.
I don't know what the hell Tony Nese was going to do. I don't know who he was about to wrestle. I have no earthly idea.
Doesn't matter.
All I know is he got wiped the fuck out.
And I feel like, are we going to have Mark Sterling fucking chasing after John Moxley? Because, he would have a legit complaint now.
Oh, man, please get him to sign up, to get other people to sign a petition on Moxley.
Moxley would sign that motherfucker and then beat the shit out of him.
Exactly.
Oh, man. But yeah.
Oh, man.
This happened and Punk, yeah. It's like
more badly thrown punches.
This is not going to end. It's like we need to get them in a match soon. Otherwise, they're going to ruin our entire show.
Right. And freaking Claudio, like, picking Mox up like a freaking tissue box.
It's like, slow down.
It's just like carrying him with one arm, like
just throw him across the arena.
Right. I think, Jesus Christ, like, effortless.
Yeah. Well, after that, we have Varsity Blondes versus the Gun Club, which, yeah,
all is now well with the world.
And by that you mean the Gun Club squashing the Varsity Blondes. Wesley's really into the Gun Club.
Yes.
Nah.
Because, Varsity Blondes are going nowhere.
Yes, no, they're not. Anyway, they killed Varsity Blonde. Billy gets the mic and is like, "Oh, I'm proud of you guys. This is exactly what y'all need, what I've been trying to get y'all to do." And they beat. Oh, Stokely Hathaway comes out, and then they turn on their own papa. And then who comes out to make the save? The Acclaimed. And then right
The
there,
Acclaimed have
in
arrived.
the middle of the ring, we get another scissor party.
We have been reunited.
Yeah. The words "Scissor me, daddy ass" were spoken, and then daddy ass scissored it.
And all is well with the world.
Yes. Then we got Jungle Boy coming out to the ring to call out Christian Cage for a match. Was it at All Out, huh? That's what he said? Went the match for All Out.
Yeah, which Christian promptly says no.
They're like Christian coming out and saying, "You got a little personal there," to Jungle Boy. I'm like,
yeah,
you piece of shit.
Like, what the fuck?
Turn that.
Well, I mean, Jungle Boy did admit to all of the horrible things that he attempted to do to Christian, like hit him with a car. So,
yeah.
I'd say that's a little personal.
Yeah. He's a carny piece of shit.
I don't know. This one's kind of a weird feud.
Yeah. It's drawn out. Like I said earlier, it feels like it's been drawn out longer than it needed to be.
And it just had a lot of weird twists and turns that didn't make any sense. I'm still confused by the whole Luchasaurus thing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Not as exciting as the other stuff going on, but like I said, veterans of the industry trying to make stars out of the younger guys.
Definitely.
After that, we have Tony Storm versus Kylan King.
Yet another match.
The token women's match for the night, right before the main event.
Correct. And yet another match in another week that Tony Storm has not killed anyone with that hip.
Yeah. Number one contender. How long are we going to skate around it? Yeah, she's the number one contender with...
Oh, no, they know.
Oh, I know they know.
They've mentioned it plenty of times.
They've hinting at
plenty
it.
Of times.
They've been hinting at it since before they were formed as a tag team.
Correct.
So it's like within 2 months, will it be more than 2 months? I don't know. Like how long?
I would imagine that this has to go for All Out, right?
I guess. Why are you going to drag it on that long? Yeah, I mean the women get many segments throughout the show, so you're gonna, I don't know. It's fucking shit.
Either way, like we've said it many times. I'm not happy with Thunder Rosa's run.
No,
but I also don't feel like I would, and I don't feel like I would be very happy with a Tony Storm run.
At this point in time, the most exciting thing to me about the women's division is Anna Jay choking everyone out. That
she needs the belt.
Yes, I cut a promo, like Thunder Rosa's cutting a promo backstage or some shit, and then Anna Jay the feud starts with her just walking up and just choking out Thunder Rosa, and then boom.
Yeah,
because she's number 4. She's ranked number 4. So
the way that the women's championship has been booked from its inception, I feel like the only way the belt has a good run or has a good champion attached to it is when the champion is a heel.
Yeah.
With the exception of Shida.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother. She was a champion for a different time.
Right. A weirder time. But
yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of salty that they had her drop the belt like right when the freaking audience was coming back.
Yeah.
I'm a little salty about that. But you knew it had to happen at some point, but
so
besides her, you have to have a heel champ.
The top 5 contenders for the women's division: Toni Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, Athena, Anna Jay and Nyla Rose.
Where the fuck is JB Hayter?
She's been, yeah.
In all this. She's been on a fucking roll.
But those weren't single matches, though, were they?
Yeah, yeah, I think a couple of them were. But
Dude,
even still. And why?
Athena. Dude,
okay.
I don't remember.
Why is it? Okay, and see, and I don't understand. I was just about to talk about that because I don't understand how this ranking system works. Because why is Athena even bothered to be ranked on the women's championship side of things when she's in a feud with the TBS champion? Like, how does that fucking ranking work?
Well, that's the thing. Like, she's in a feud with.
Is there even a ranking for that title?
No. I think. I mean, this is me just making assumptions, but like, I think so. They list the top 5. I think the top 5 could contend with either one. I don't think it matters. But like,
I guess
all these matches,
but Athena hasn't done anything.
So this whole Jungle Boy shit feels like it's run its course. We've not seen Athena matches on TV. We've not seen, if Anna Jay is number 4, we have not seen her on TV.
Nope.
We've not seen Nyla Rose on TV. We've not seen them on TV, nor has their matches that they've been having on Dark or Dark Elevation have been referenced to at all.
Right. Because I haven't seen Anna Jay wrestle since she lost to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
I want to say that was the last time I saw her wrestle, period.
Was that at the pay-per-view?
And that was a pay-per-view. Yeah.
Dude, this division is a mess. I don't understand. I just don't understand why they're not putting them on TV more. I don't know if it's
but I feel like you could if you cut out all the promos that they put out.
Yeah.
And maybe shorten the length of some of these matches. But it is what it is. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually.
And Jade, I think, is mostly relegated to Rampage, where most of her matches.
Although I heard something about they trademarked something that could be either an all women's show or an all women's pay-per-view or something along those lines fairly recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what that is alluding to.
And honestly, we're sitting here talking about Dynamite, not seeing on TV, failing to even think about Rampage.
I don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I haven't watched it in weeks. Usually I would, but I haven't watched it in weeks. And I mean, let's be real. It's not like it's, and Rodney's made this point, and I've argued against this point, but it really is like, the show is not as nearly as important as Dynamite. And
Rampage is the equivalent to what Thunder was for WCW. Except it's an hour long, not 2 hours long.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
It was.
Oh, and like...
Or it is.
Yeah.
I think Rampage would benefit by being 2 hours. Because then you could do more with it and maybe make it a little bit more enticing.
As long as it sits in that time slot, dude, I don't know.
No, as long as it sits in that time slot, you're never going to... It's never going to be a 2 hour show. No, it won't happen unless you change time slots. Yeah. But I feel like it's going to be it would be the only way to like make it enticing.
Yeah. I mean, like right now, it's where they feature Jade and like Hook and shit.
Right.
Like for the people there in the audience, that's great. You know, man, I haven't felt the need to watch Rampage at all.
Unless they announce some big star going to even just cut a promo, then maybe I'll watch it. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
I look at the lineup and I go, I could do without it.
And then again, it's not like they're having more than one women's match on that show.
They're tag team champions. their tag team champions have been relegated to freaking Rampage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Because fucking Young Bucks. I mean, was the last? Young Bucks might have been on Rampage one time.
Right.
But anyway,
I don't know. Maybe once this ROH thing settles and they can figure out what to do with the roster, then maybe things will make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I think things are kind of bloated right now.
And I think they're kind of waiting on I think he said he's waiting on a distribution deal or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a mess, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speak to the Warner Brothers merger and shit like that because I really don't know what's going on. But like AEW falls under that umbrella, so I don't know how that could potentially affect them.
I'm sure it will, and it'll probably affect them in some negative way.
Yeah, that's a concern for sure.
Mergers never end well.
But when you got a show that's like consistently in the top 5 across all cable channels, like that's not something that can also be ignored. Like sure. Usually outside of sports events, AEW I think even Rampage tends to be like towards the top as far as what's viewed in its time slot.
Well, that would tell me as a corporate guy that that's not something to fuck with.
Yeah.
Like, it's working. Stay hands off.
Yeah. Well, we got the main event here.
And now
we got La Faction and Goba Noble. I know I said that wrong. Versus the Young Bucks and North Carolina's. I'm sure he's been there one time at least, but yeah, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's back.
The cleaner is
with
back.
That carny piece of shit. Jesus. God damn, Don Callis.
That was my fucking worry. And it came to fruition. So I have to deal with him.
Yeah.
But I guess I gotta take the good with the bad, I guess.
Dude, he's been ready to push Omega since Omega was 9 years old, dude. That's why he got rid of Christian, so he could push Omega when he was ready.
Oh God. But either way, he got the most epic of epic entrances.
Yeah, of course. Big ass pop.
Fucking roof blew off the place.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not ready.
Still looks fucking banged up.
Clearly came back too early.
Still looks banged up.
Clearly came back too early. Sticks and duct tape are holding him together still. But it was fantastic to see him back. I'm glad he's back. Hopefully, whatever he's got left to recover from isn't terrible. And I'm sure eventually he'll be back to his old ways. But this is exactly what I was thinking would be his best shot at coming back. Either early or for ring rust purposes, was to put him in this tournament and have the Young Bucks carry him.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Right.
It was, it just made sense
mm-hmm.
that this was going to be a good way around it. But yeah, so he's back and he tried.
Yeah,
he made his way out, with no extra injuries. So that's a win.
I don't know the name of the move that he did, but where he has him on his shoulder and he does the little front flip, throws him on the ground. He completely fucked that up. But then he got up and was like,
yeah, he's like,
I was like, all right,
whatever, man.
Like, I can't fault you for that.
You get the pass.
Dude, you were dealing with vertigo before you took a break. Like, I get it.
And you wouldn't even know that he was dealing with anything.
I was talking to Jennifer about his return and stuff like that. I was like, if I get vertigo just walking around, it's like working at my desk job, whatever, then I'm like, oh God, I can't imagine being in a freaking wrestling ring doing this shit, and then
doing flips.
yeah, with the entire
Like-
arena spinning around you and shit.
Right. Like how long had you been dealing with that you found a way to compensate?
Jesus, man.
But then, like, so you're dealing with vertigo, you're dealing with a hernia, you're dealing with a fucked up shoulder, you're dealing with like all kinds of shit. Like all this stuff came out after. While when he left, I'm going, dude,
Right.
what the fuck?
And I mean,
you hit it very well, sir.
Right.
Because I had no idea.
So like, I don't really have the reference, or at least his work in New Japan isn't like, I don't have that reference readily available. I've seen some of his matches, whatever. So I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to tell that maybe he's not as intense as he used to be. He was still fucking putting on matches, and yeah, like, I had no idea. But then yeah, and all that stuff comes out and on how banged up he actually was. God damn, dude.
Yeah.
Change your stuff up.
I'm sure he probably will.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the wake-up call to, like, maybe slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Or at least change your style somewhat. I mean, I'm sure he's aware that he's older now than what he was,
I think he's
I don't
almost 40.
think he's in the... I was going to say, like, I don't know if he's on, like, back end of his career, but he's got to be pretty close. And it's almost a shame that, like, he didn't get to be showcased on, like, to U.S. audiences until fairly recently.
Yeah.
But
he's 38 years old.
Either way.
Well, in a sense, dude, like, him and the Young Bucks...
God, that always makes me jealous. He's only a year older than us.
Dude, let me tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've looked at wrestlers and was like, wow, they're so fit or whatever, and then they announced like their weight. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I was like, I need to lose weight. At some point I weighed more than Wardlow. What the fuck? Oh God! Like, no, that can't be the case. I was like, man,
and that says a lot because muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude. I was like, I think I don't know. I don't know what he's billed at, but I was like, at some point, it's like, I need to do something. I need to improve myself. I need to get healthier.
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, Omega's a big reason why New Japan became as popular as it did. Him and the Young Bucks,
right?
New Japan never had nearly as many U.S. fans as they did until Omega and the Elite and all that shit. So like, it's funny too. People were questioning his ability to perform in the U.S. like on the American TV style. Like, I don't know, man, as good as he is, like, is that really a concern? Like, I think he's going to adapt and figure it out. Like,
right, like he should be. He would figure it out.
Yeah,
and he would probably figure it out very quickly.
Yeah,
like, or hey, maybe he's so good he'll make the audience adapt to his style.
Right.
Like,
because let's face it, a lot of people that are coming to, like, a lot of people that were drawn to AEW in the first place were drawn to Kenny Omega because he is as big a star as anyone in WWE, maybe more so, and he didn't even go to WWE. Didn't even need.
And he was
WWE.
one, and he was another one that was like, I'm not going there.
That I don't know. It's crazy. It really is, because they had some offers from WWE. The Bucks and Omega had some offers that it was like, no, this is too good of an opportunity to do our own thing with Tony Khan. And I don't know.
So far, up to this point, that gamble they took paid off.
Yeah. Now,
granted, the cool thing is that if if they ultimately wanted to or change their mind or whatever, like they definitely have the option to
Oh
go
yeah.
to WWE, and they would definitely hold all the cards
hmm
to negotiate whatever they wanted,
They did at the time.
to do that,
Honestly, like they
which is
had
great.
like before, like when they made the decision. Like this is information that I got from their book while they were killing the
Mhm.
business. Destroying it,
Right.
and yeah, like at the like it got to the point where I like because they were in talks with Triple H, and it got to the point where they were pretty much offering up the world, ton of money, and but like even to the point where they made the decision. Obviously, they were keeping quiet about Tony Khan and AEW. Like they were still getting calls, like they were WWE was trying to get them over there, and they just decided not to. And said we can try. Actually, let's try to do our own thing, and well, wrestling has been a lot better. The industry, I don't know, it's just been a lot better since they came.
The industry as a whole.
Yeah.
No, you can pretty much say it. The industry as a whole has been, you know, would I use the term renaissance? Probably not, but it's definitely in a healthier place than what it's been.
Yeah. For sure. Well.
But yeah.
Oh, so I found Kenny Omega through a gaming website, Giant Bomb, not even wrestling, and it was like, that's how I found him.
Go figure.
Yeah.
But he's back, and I'm happy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Me too. Well, you got anything else on your mind?
No. I think we're pretty good for this week.
All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Wrestlecast. If you want to drop us a line or have a question for us, email us at laughingmangamecast@gmail.com. Put Wrestlecast in the subject. Hit us up on Twitter at laughingmannet. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.
Peace.